The US national team plans to get high. Jermaine Jones is not backing down. David Moyes is even less charming than he looks. FC Dallas prepare for Pachuca, and Chapecoense finally get to play against Atlético Nacional. Good morning, one and all. It's Tuesday, April 4th. Wow, 2017 is moving fast. I'm Daryl Grove again, and you're listening to The Goalmouth. On today's menu of bite-sized soccer news, the US national team has a plan to get high slowly but surely. Everyone knows that the US, along with the rest of CONCACAF, struggles when they play Mexico away at the Azteca, which is 7,300 feet above sea level. The US is scheduled to visit the Azteca for an important World Cup qualifier on June 11th. The altitude up there means the air is thin, as are the chances of a good result. But seems US soccer has a plan. Stephen Goff of the Washington Post reports that the US men's team will play a friendly against an unnamed opponent in early June at Real Salt Lake's Rio Tinto Stadium. Elevation 4,200 feet. Then, on June 8th, the US will host Trinidad and Tobago in a World Cup qualifier at Colorado Rapids Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Elevation 5,300 feet. See the pattern here? The idea is that the US will slowly acclimatise and be ready to face Mexico at 7,300 feet on June 11th, and I think I like it. The US did something kind of similar in 2013, playing Costa Rica and Colorado in the infamous snow game, and then getting the 0-0 draw at the Azteca a few days later. The best ever World Cup qualifying result at the Azteca. If this works in 2017, then we can just forget developing players like Christian Pulisic and go all in with the altitude experiments. Maybe 2018 we played Germany at the peak of Mount Everest, 29,035 feet above sea level. Then in 2019 we'll face the 1970 Brazil team on the surface of Mars, where the atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide and only one man has ever successfully grown potatoes. That was a documentary, right? Speaking of men who refuse to quit no matter the odds or the atmosphere, Jermaine Jones. You may recall that Jermaine Jones was not impressed by Matt Doyle's MLSsoccer.com article titled "The Case for a US Midfield Without Jermaine Jones." Yesterday, Jones talked to Max Bretos and Herculez Gomez of ESPN FC, and Jones did not hold back. The 35-year-old midfielder making it pretty clear that A, age ain't nothing but a number, B, pass completion ain't nothing but a thing, and C, he thinks he deserves way more respect than is currently being shown. Jones said, quote, "The criticism is always on me. Everybody tries it if we lose the game. They always try to find the next guy who can play for Jermaine. It's never somebody else, it's always me." And Jones was in no mood to give up his starting spot until after the 2018 World Cup. Again, quote, "If I go to the national team right now, name me a player who has more Champions League games, who played in the highest levels. Name me one," end quote. It's entertaining stuff, especially when you realise that Jones talks in interviews the same way he plays on the soccer field. Absolutely fearlessly, somewhat recklessly, mostly effectively, maybe leaning a little too hard on past achievements, but never leaving you in any doubt about the confidence in his own ability. The big story in England right now is bottom of the Premier League Sunderland manager David Moyes threatening to slap a female BBC interviewer. You heard that correctly. After Sunderland's 0-0 draw against Burnley last month, BBC Match of the Day interviewer Vicky Sparks asked Moyes if the presence of Sunderland chairman Ellis Short meant he was under pressure, meaning maybe he might be close to getting fired because, again, bottom of the entire Premier League. None at all was Moyes' on-air response. Then, off-air, but captured by camera and recently released, Moyes tells Sparks to, quote, "Watch yourself, you still might get a slap even though you're a woman, careful the next time you come in," end horrible quote. Now, Moyes was laughing when he said this, and Sparks was kind of laughing, but in the nervous way you might laugh when a 6'1" Glaswegian jokingly threatens you with violence. Moyes has made a full apology to Sparks and to the public, which he says Sparks has accepted. The irony here is that Moyes' job really is under pressure now, as Sparks had originally asked, because now the Sunderland chairman has to consider the combined effect of being bottom of the whole Premier League and having a coach who jokes about slapping interviewers. It's almost as if he would have been better off answering the question honestly to begin with. Finally, 3 games to keep an eye on today. It's Man United versus Everton in the Premier League with a 3 o'clock Eastern kickoff, and it's live on the NBC Sports Network. Interesting story here is Luke Shaw, the very expensive 21-year-old left-back, who Mourinho said was, quote, a long way behind, end quote, his teammates in terms of fitness and commitment, but now is back in the matchday squad after some recent clear-the-air talks. It's also FC Dallas versus Liga MX's Pachuca tonight in the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions League semi-final. Dallas has a 2-1 lead from the first leg, but tonight's game is in Pachuca. Omar Gonzalez is the Pachuca centre-back, so we'll have an American in the final either way, but it will be a big step for MLS if Dallas can make it through. That game is 10 o'clock Eastern kickoff on Univision Deportes or on Facebook Live. Finally, it's Brazil's Chapecoense versus Colombia's Atlético Nacional in the Copa Sudamericana first leg tonight. The Recopa isn't really special. It's the winners of the Copa Sudamericana versus the winners of the Copa Libertadores in a 2-legged showpiece game. Kind of like a Super Cup. But this game is special because it reunites Chapecoense with Nacional, the team Chapecoense would have played in the 2016 Sudamericana final if not for the air disaster, which killed 71 people, including Chapecoense players and staff. In a beautiful gesture, you'll remember, after the disaster, Nacional requested that the Sudamericana title be awarded to Chapecoense, a gesture which established a deep friendship between the two clubs. Nacional had already won the Libertadores back in July 2016, which is why they qualify for tonight's Sudamericana game. So, finally, the rebuilt Chapecoense will face Nacional on the field, and there should be heartfelt handshakes and hugs all around. That's all from me. George Qureshi will be with you tomorrow. I'll leave you with today's Goalmouth top tip. This is space. It does not cooperate. But we should still man-mark Pelé just in case.